Welcome to part second of the video. From 2007 till now, I am consistently repeating one thing that Reserve Bank of India do not deserve to be a central bank. Rather, I remember many times in the conferences I repeated the same thing, and many people contacted me after that. Rather, few days ago, I shot a video whereby I challenged Reserve Bank of India governor. And this isn't the first time I challenged them. I challenged him many times, but he never replied. Now, let me go to the last paragraph of the article which is published by ICICI Bank. The introduction of credit default swap guidelines and allowing Indian banks to transact in foreign currency settled OIS market are very positive for deepening the financial markets. FCS OIS will deepen the interest rate derivative market and ensure convergence between onshore and offshore markets and much better price discovery. We believe that current policy has laid out a glide path of inflation, which is quite optimist and has just justified the no action policies, pushing the policy normalization further out. If you read this line, you feel like there is nothing wrong in that. But do you know what this person is talking it about? There is no credit default swap market in India. What the hell is credit default swap? Credit default swap is history, mystery. The world has moved to basket swaps, trigger swaps, first till default swap, and many much. Do you know that the structured derivative in itself is an industry? And when we speak about credit default swap, we are talking about tip of an iceberg. The problem we have in India is that, and that I have raised this since 2007, bankers have asked to do one thing. Whenever there is any policy coming of RBI and SEBI, bankers only have one role. Excellent, super, great, brilliant policy. We were waiting for this. Very well policy. This will make India a more strong economy. Brilliant, very well. End result, 99% of these policies failed. Whether this is non-performing asset, whether this is insolvency and bankruptcy code, whether this is corporate resolution, whether this is valuation courses, or you name, they all failed because the people who make these guidelines, they have no practical exposure. Now let me reply to Prasanna. Prasanna, I know because I worked in the banking domain for 9 years and still interacting with banking. I know there are two kind of bankers we have in India. Number one, who polish the boot of their bosses. I repeat, who polish the boot of their bosses and get a designation. Unfortunately, the composition of them is 99%. But still, India left with 1% bankers who work hard. I repeat, who work hard and get a minimum package. They are very smart people, but they do not know the boot polish. You belong to number one category. Don't you know that credit default swap market requires a buyer and a seller? Do not you know that ISDA have defined three trigger mechanism in CDS? To have these three trigger mechanism, you need a very liquid market. Don't you know about the latest CDS products, and out of which not a single CDS product is applicable in India? Don't you know that the corporates in India have no risk management policy to have CDS? Hardly 1% corporates, I repeat, guys, hardly 1% corporates in India take options. 99% corporates take plain vanilla forward contracts. Plain vanilla forward contracts. And still, this person talking about CDS. Like I told you, if RBI and SEBI will bring anything in the public, there is a complete banking fraternity whose job is brilliant policy. Brilliant policy. Because they know if they do not do this, then they don't get appraisal. They don't get anything. They know about this. That is why every time on every policy they do this. Now let's talk about this. FCS OIS, which is overnight index swap. Prasanna, do not you know about NDF, non-deliverable forward? What the height of stupidity you talking? You are saying that FCS OIS will deepen the interest rate derivative market. Do you even know that interest rate derivative market in India, which includes OIS, overnight index swap, FRA, forward rate agreement, swaption, caps, collars, reverse swaption, inverse collar, and hundreds of products, no one even taking them. Hardly less than 0.5% of the treasurers even barely understand them. Do you know the difference between inverse collar and reverse collar? I doubt you even heard about collar. Forget the difference between inverse collar and reverse collar. Anyways, what is saying? And ensure convergence between offshore and onshore market. You mean to say that the spread between non-deliverable forward of INR, which trades as per Tokyo Cut in Singapore, is going to be converged with the local trading markets of India? You mean to say this? You believe that since you are the so-called group head, global market, sales, trading, and research, everyone is an idiot. And whatever you are talking, we got to believe that. Do you even know that the OIS market in India, which is known as overnight index swap, right, is not even correlated with MIBOR, Mumbai Interbank Offered Rate. Forget the correlation between onshore and offshore. Forget the correlation between onshore and offshore. And what the hell you talking about here? The problem is not with the Prasanna. The problem is with the live mint. the newspaper, who published this without any checking. Without any checking. This is called stupidity. This is called paid media, not live mint, Prasanna. This is called the bankers who reached at the top by polishing the shoes. Because a sensible banker who is a technically correct banker, who is a fundamentally sound banker, will not do this kind of stupidity. Rest assured, very soon we would be bringing lot of stupidities in many master circulars of Reserve Bank of India. But yes, I might not be aware about these things had I not worked in a treasury function, had I'm not managing my own proprietary fund, and had I not interacted with these bankers. And many of these bankers are in my WhatsApp group. And every day, many of the bankers are, contacting me on the WhatsApp that I wanted to be in your WhatsApp group. Because they know the kind of knowledge we are providing on our WhatsApp group, even degrees do not provide that. So Prasanna, next time be careful. The paid and the compromised channels are giving you a hype. Probably the newspapers are also giving you a hype. But remember, there are still few intelligent and technical people left in the treasury function. But Prasanna, if you feel offended, note my number 9899242978. And let you show your technical knowledge to me. I would be happy to challenge you. At least show. Have a great time ahead.